What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Madden 25 video. Please do me a favor, take a moment, hit the like button for me, subscribe if you aren't already. Criticism in the comment section. As always, run over to Twitter. Give me a follow. My username is ShutdownSafety. Today on Pro Football Talk, Teddy Bridgewater said he was going to be playing a lot of Madden this year because he felt it's important to see the virtual playbook and get virtual reps to see what he can expect against NFL defenses. And it's interesting to me that he said not only did he find this successful at Louisville, but he said, quote, "It helps because you get one more rep than you had in practice, actual practice. Any chance you get to take an extra rep or go the extra step, the extra mile, is going to be beneficial transferring onto the field." The reason this troubles me so much is it's no more obvious from the quarterback perspective how much this game lacks in terms of realistic football. We're not even going to talk about delayed blitzes not being the game, but I want to show you the most least risk zone pass to Kyle Rudolph you're ever going to see in your life. And the reason is the multitude of things Madden just gets wrong when you're trying to play quarterback. The number one thing we're going to talk about is going to be route progressions, because they just don't work in Madden. It's not programmed correctly, period. Now, Greg Jennings is my number one option here. Now, when he goes out and runs his route, he makes his cut. The problem with this is, when we go down the line, every other receiver makes their cut at the same time. So you can't make that progression of one receiver, two receiver, tight end, fullback, dump off, throw away. You cannot make that progression in Madden because you can't read it all happening at the same time. So Jennings has made his cut. When we go over here, Patterson, my number two receiver, he's making his cut right now as well. In real life, in actual football, he would be going another 4 steps, 6 steps, then making his cut, so that you can read progressively. Rudolph, who's basically the third option here, you can see he's right in the middle of his animation. He's making his cut as well. And again, in real life, he would go deeper than Patterson would. That's why more often than not, when you have a quarterback in the pocket for a long time and you see a throw, it's a long pass because the progression of the routes pushes them further down the field. Now, in addition to this, when we talk about read and react, there is no read and react, at least on this play. This cornerback here has to understand Patterson is on the inside of the field. He's shading basically the entire right side of the screen. The first thing he allows to happen is Patterson to get to the outside. Why, when you're already giving up so much field, when you already have the receiver pressed inside and you have the advantage to control his route, why would you expose him to the largest portion of the field possible? And it actually kind of recovers here the way Madden plays zone, because he's just going to backpedal into his zone from the start of the play. And it almost looks as if he's covering Patterson, but he's not. He's covering his zone. That's kind of the illusion Madden presents at times. When you talk about zones that don't work right, you look no further than the pass to Rudolph. Now, if you've ever played on a football field, if you ever played a zone defense, you know you pass receivers off from one zone to another. It's called sometimes carrying a receiver from one zone to another. And this just doesn't happen in Madden. You can see Rudolph comes off the line, the linebacker goes back into his zone, and then right here, the other middle linebacker, Roach, up at the far top of the screen, should be coming down to carry Rudolph into his zone and then carry him across. When he doesn't do that, that's what allows this to become such a wide open pass, because look at this natural window in between these two linebackers. These two should be really, in real life, even if we're just talking about video game football, could be communicating to each other where the tight end is going from one zone to another. When they don't, it leaves a wide open access point for me to throw the ball. In fact, Roach does not even react to this player in his zone until the ball is thrown. Then all of a sudden he wants to come in and make a tackle. So to me, it's interesting when we see comments like this. It's intriguing when they come from NFL players. But most importantly, you don't have to have played in the NFL. You really do have to have played football. But you don't have to have played in the NFL to understand you're not going to learn anything as a quarterback from this game. And I don't see that changing for Madden 15. Love to know your opinions on this. Appreciate you checking it out. Back in the week with more content.